Angela Marie Hammond, known to family and friends as Angie, was a 20-year-old woman living in Clinton, Missouri, in the early 1990s. She was vibrant, outgoing, and close to her family. By all accounts, she had a bright future ahead of her. She was engaged to her boyfriend, Rob Schaefer, who was the son of a local police officer, and the couple were planning a life together. At the time of her disappearance, Angie was also attending Central Missouri State University part-time and working, balancing her young adult life with optimism about what lay ahead. On the night of April 4th, 1991, Angie had spent the evening with friends. Around 11:15 p.m., she dropped her friend off and then drove her own car to a local payphone in the center of town. Cell phones were not common back then, and payphones were still the standard way of making a late-night call. Angie wanted to check in with her fiancé, Rob. She called him to chat while he was at his mother's house. The two spoke casually for a while. During their conversation, Angie mentioned seeing a man in a pickup truck circling the area near the payphone. She described it as a green Ford pickup, possibly from the 1960s or early 1970s, with a decal in the back window. The man seemed to be acting strangely. At one point, he stopped at a nearby phone booth as if pretending to use it, though no one was with him. Angie told Rob that the sight of this man made her uneasy. As their call continued, Angie described the man getting out of his truck and looking around as though searching for something. She told Rob he had a beard, glasses, and appeared suspicious. Suddenly, Rob heard Angie scream. The phone dropped, and the line went dead. Alarmed, Rob immediately got into his car and drove toward the payphone, which was only about 7 blocks away. On his way, he passed a truck matching Angie's description heading in the opposite direction. In a desperate move, Rob spun his car around and chased after the vehicle. In his frantic attempt to catch up, he pushed his car too hard. Near the edge of town, his transmission gave out, leaving him stranded and unable to continue the pursuit. Angie was gone, taken right off the streets of her small town in a matter of moments. When police arrived, they found Angie's car still parked by the payphone. There were no obvious signs of a struggle left behind, but Rob's account and the timeline were enough to confirm that Angela Hammond had been abducted in the middle of a phone call. Her family and friends were devastated. In a town like Clinton, Missouri, with just a few thousand residents, such a brazen kidnapping seemed unimaginable. The investigation quickly focused on the description of the man and the truck. A sketch was made of the suspect based on what Angie had described to Rob over the phone. It depicted a white male in his 20s or 30s, with facial hair and glasses. The vehicle was noted as an older model Ford pickup, with a decal of a fish in the back window, possibly representing the popular Christian ichthys symbol. Despite this, no confirmed suspects were ever identified. Investigators considered the possibility that Angela's abduction could be linked to 2 other unsolved cases in Missouri around the same time. In January 1991, just months before Angela vanished, 42-year-old Trudy Darby was abducted after leaving her job at a convenience store in Max Creek, about 100 miles away. She was later found murdered. 2 months after Angela's disappearance, another woman, 18-year-old Cheryl Ann Kenny, disappeared after closing up the convenience store where she worked in Nevada, Missouri. Her body has never been found. The 3 cases, Trudy, Cheryl, and Angela, came to be known by some as the Missouri Three, and investigators openly speculated that the same perpetrator or perpetrators might have been responsible. However, while arrests were eventually made in Trudy Darby's case, no definitive connection to Angela Hammond or Cheryl Kenny was ever proven. Back in Clinton, suspicion initially fell unfairly on Rob Schaefer, as is common in cases where a significant other is the last known contact. But his account of chasing the truck, the failure of his car, and the evidence from the phone call quickly ruled him out. He was devastated by Angela's disappearance and cooperated fully with police. Over the years, the case grew cold. Rumors circulated, tips were phoned in, and psychics even attempted to offer their input, but none of it led to answers. Angela's family, particularly her mother, Chris Hammond, continued to fight for her memory, keeping her case alive in the media and in the hearts of the local community. Chris worked tirelessly with law enforcement, never letting her daughter's name fade away, always pressing for leads and attention. In 2009, nearly 2 decades later, police revealed they were re-examining the case with modern forensic techniques, including revisiting DNA evidence. But so far, nothing conclusive has come from those efforts. The green pickup truck remains one of the most haunting elements of the story, an identifiable vehicle seen by both Angela and Rob, and yet it has never been located. Whether it belonged to a stranger passing through or someone local who blended back into small-town life has never been determined. Today, more than 30 years later, Angela Hammond's disappearance remains unsolved. Her case is remembered not only for its shocking nature, an abduction in real time during a phone call with a fiancé rushing to the scene, but also for the heartbreak it left behind. For her family, time has not dulled the pain. For the people of Clinton, the case is still a haunting reminder that even in the safety of a small community, darkness can strike without warning.